Two people are in custody and a state trooper is in critical condition after a hit-and-run crash in Revere. Just before 5 o'clock, a motorcycle hit a state trooper who was outside of his cruiser in front of the Revere barracks. Officials say he was thrown 45 feet across the road, leaving him with serious injuries. The two suspects took off running, but were arrested a few hours after the incident. Governor Maura Healey releasing a statement regarding this incident, reading in part, "This marks the second incident this month involving a trooper struck while in the roadway. This incident is another stark reminder of the dangers our law enforcement officers face every day. I am grateful for their continued bravery and service."